Hey, it's Venus Monique with Personal Powerhouse. Personal Powerhouse is where Christian women in film grow their careers with integrity and Jesus. And today I'm going to talk to you about film festivals and conferences because I'm not sure how you feel about them, but I know for me, when I was first in the industry, I kind of knew about a lot of them, but for some reason I didn't know the benefit. I knew like what people did. I had a general idea, but I thought, is it really that helpful? Yes, let me tell you, yes, it is. So I want to share with you a few things. We're going to go over some of the major Christian film festivals that are happening around the US, how they can help your acting career, and then what to take to the festivals and how to maximize your time there. So jumping into the first, which is what is the benefit? Like, why do I even need to know about film festivals? Holy cannoli. Let me tell you, it's okay. It's just okay. So for one, you find your people. At least that's how I felt. When I got to my first one, which let me tell you about that experience right quick. The reason I started going to them was because a show that I was doing, Vindication, it was maybe playing the trailer or something. I think it was season one. And so the trailer was going to be showing at this festival called Content Film Festival, which is somewhat near me. And I knew the director was going, and I was like, all right, I'll know somebody there, so I'll go. So I just went for like half a day. And man, that half a day, I was like, oh my gosh, these are my people. Like these people love Jesus. They are in the industry and we all have the same goal of wanting to bring Jesus to the masses through media. And so that changed my entire view of what it was like. Plus, I will share this more later when I talk about content, but I just felt such joy and peace on the lot there. And I was like, wow, this is what this is. Everybody's so kind, like genuinely kind, not the fake kind. And so anyway, I went the next year, I volunteered because I knew the volunteer coordinator. I was like, hey, do y'all need any help next year? I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, festivals are a definite yes. So for one, yes, you find your people, you build these connections with filmmakers all over the nation because they do. They all come from all over the country to these festivals, and you might not have otherwise met them. Like maybe you would have met them on a film, but like what are the chances of you working with this one person on this film when there are so many options of people? So you get to connect with people you likely wouldn't. And also facial familiarity. So when you see the same people, like you go to this conference and then 3 months later you go to this next one, and you're like, hey, I remember having, lunch beside you at this other conference, or hey, I remember, you just remember things about people. And the more you attend and you see each other's faces, you become friends. And it's so fun. Even if you don't work together immediately, you might sometime, or you're able to recommend somebody to each other. And so it's just a lot of fun. Um, and then the other good thing is you're meeting these people, but you're not meeting them on set where everything is hustle and bustle and do this, and you're all in your own departments doing your own thing. You're actually meeting people at a festival where the point is to like have a conversation and get to know them. And so the pressure of like, oh, I'm busy, gotta go, gotta cut this conversation short, gotta cut this short. I've got a walkie in my ear, I can't pay attention. It's just a different dynamic when you are at the event. So yes, so good for that. Not to mention all the workshops that they offer. And like that is my big thing. So film festivals, yes, they do play the films and you do have your award and they have, the award show and all of that. But my big thing is the people and the workshops because I love learning. And so I'm always curious about the workshops that these festivals and conferences are going to be having. And that's where I'm so excited to attend. And then the other bonus that happens is a lot of festivals, or some, they will have auditions like during the festival, either for something upcoming or just general auditions to where producers and casting directors and agents can come sit in and just watch you audition if you've never gotten to be in front of that casting director before. So example is a couple months ago, I was at a conference and they had two casting directors at that conference doing an audition. And I was like, man, I haven't got to audition for either of them in person, even though I've submitted auditions like through Actors Access. I've not gotten to audition live. And so I got to audition live for two major casting directors, which actually turned out to be really good because then I got to re-audition. I was chosen to like go on stage and re-audition. So that's just another big benefit of getting to audition in front of folks you might not otherwise get to because you have to go through the headshot, then your reel has to be approved, and then you got to submit. So this way it was just like straight in front of them. Okay, so I kind of mentioned how I got involved. So mine was with content, and I reached out to the volunteer coordinator. I was like, hey, can I help next time? And he was like, yes. So since that very first time that I went, I've now been to content 3 times, I think. And I volunteer each time, which is so much fun because when you're a volunteer, you get to see behind the scenes of how things are operating, and you get to develop a closer relationship with a lot of the people because you're working close knit with them and you're in constant communication. And then you also get like, there's perks to being a volunteer. I mean, you get to attend the workshops, you get to do this or have dinner with this person or whatever it is. So volunteering is to me always a good idea. I just enjoy helping too. Like I lead the greeter team. I'm the leader of the greeter team. And so it's fun because people are coming to me to ask questions, and then that helps me build a relationship with them, which I enjoy because I just love meeting people. So a few things, and then I'm going to get into what the festivals are, but a few things that you do want to take to film festivals. Always business cards, always. So that's like probably the number one, is your business card, because you can't expect people to remember you. Yeah, they might friend you on Instagram or friend you on Facebook, but when you leave, are they going to remember your name? Not sure. So always give people a business card, and that way when they get home and like things are more settled, they can go through their business cards and be like, oh yeah, I remember this conversation. Oh yeah, I remember her face. So definitely take business cards, and I'm going to show you what mine currently are. I've changed them a couple of times. Oh, I have an older one. I'll show you my older one. So that is my older one. It's just, and it's, see, I redid it because it was so tiny, but I had a website on there. And then a little bit about, I'm a Christian actor, speaker, and I'm in Texas. So that's the old one. And then I recently changed it to this one. So all my headshots, I've got my agent on there, actor, speaker, and then these are like little, let me see, laurels from winning certain awards. So I put those on there, even though they're light, but it's fine. And then on the back, I just have website information and a QR code. So a little tip on business cards, do not do the digital business card. I'm telling you, I personally don't like it when somebody gives it to me, but I'm also telling you it is not the best choice, because what happens is, let me show you. And I know I'm not the only one. Oh, did you just see my pants? My pants are colder, actually. They don't go with my outfit at all, and that's okay. So what happens when I get back from a film festival, and I know that others do this too because I've had conversations with them. So we collect all of the business cards that we got, and I label mine content 2022, and I make notes on them, like keep, oh, that'd be a great guest speaker, and I put them all in a thing. And so if you gave me a digital business card where I have to scan your phone and then you get downloaded into my contacts, if I just had a short conversation with you, about 20 minutes later, after having 4 more conversations, I'm probably not going to remember your name to go find you in my contacts. So I'm going here for all the connections I made. I'm going to this little pack of cards. And if you're not in here, I'm going to forget about you. So this is a good way to physically stay in front of my eyes and top of mind. And that's not just for me, that's for everybody. So be sure you have physical business cards. And I'm like, got another one. Got another one. So another one. But yeah, so physical business cards for sure. The other thing that you definitely want to take is a notebook for the workshops. Unless you have like an iPad or a computer, the only reason I didn't suggest that is because it's heavy to haul around all day. But if that's your preference, you can totally do that. And this is my notebook. So it's kind of little. It's like just bigger than the size of my hand, but it's just big enough to be able to write in, not one of those tiny ones that I barely have any space to write, and not a big one that doesn't fit in my bag. So this guy has been great for me. Another one would be a bag of some sort it doesn't have to be a purse, but like a bag to collect goodies and like free flyers and free pins and free whatever they do. A lot of people, like the vendor partners that set up the tables, they may give away things for free. You may buy a t-shirt, you may buy a DVD. Some of them have a bag, some of them don't. So it's just kind of good to carry a bag around. Also, because one of my suggestions here is to bring water. So not all festivals have like water available or vending machines available. And so it's just it varies by conference. So this bag is what I will be taking to my next conferences. My sister-in-law gave this to me. And so it's like smaller than a backpack, but bigger than a purse. So it's that good middle ground, and I can put a bunch of stuff in there. And then the other thing is comfortable shoes. They don't have to be tennis shoes, but you are going to likely be on your feet all day, unless it's the day where they're showing all the movies back to back and then you're sitting in theaters. But for the most part, if you're doing workshops and all of that, you'll be going from room to room and then walking to lunch and then walking here, walking back to your room, wherever that is. So standing on your feet, having conversations. So just be sure that you have some shoes that you are comfortable being in for hours. Okay, so jumping over to what the major festivals and conferences are here in America, I will tell you, and I'm going to go in order of the order they happen during the year. So in February-ish, there is one called NRB, and that stands for National Religious Broadcasters. And they are basically for Christian communicators. So if you've got like a radio show, podcast, church media, digital marketing, all of that, they are for Christian speakers. So a lot of authors also attend NRB. I have not actually been to NRB yet. I plan to go in to the next one because it's near me, which I'm really excited about. But I always see a lot of pictures, see a lot of friends that I know. And so it just hasn't been a priority because it's not strictly film. So I'm finally going, but I attended the others first. The next one is CWVFF. This one happens in March every year. They were switching locations, but I think they're pretty much settled now on Georgia. And this is put on by the Kendrick brothers, and they're the ones who did Fireproof and War Room and, gosh, a lot of them, The Forge. So Alex and Stephen Kendrick, they're the ones who put this on at their church in Georgia. That's CWVFF. It stands for Christian Worldview Film Festival. There's another one, International Christian Film Festival. That one happens in May in Orlando, Florida. A new one next year, so coming in August of 2025, there is Purpose Fest, and that's going to be in Southern Indiana. So it is a film festival, it is a conference, a lot of workshops, but their thing is like focusing on content creators and filmmakers, influencers, and helping them use media to grow the kingdom. And so it's a little bit of a different spin on it, which I love. And I'm grateful because I got invited to be on a few panels and do some workshops there. So if you end up going, I will see you there. And in September, so Purpose Fest was August. In September is Content Media Conference. So that's the one that I told you I did a half day at and then was like, I'm in. So that one happens outside of Dallas in a town called Poleville. And in Poleville, there are Capernaum Studios, which you may have heard of. That's where season 1 of The Chosen did all their filming. So it's just outside, it's west of Dallas, Fort Worth. And that one's really neat because they do the whole festival on a studio lot. You're taking workshops in different sets that they use. And so it's kind of fun. You're walking all over set. I will say for that one though, there's a lot of hills. So you really want to be particular about the shoes you bring there. And because it's a set, we're outside a lot. So you are, crossing this way to get to this building, and then you go outside to go to the next one. You go outside for registration. I mean, they're all in buildings, but you have to go building to building. And it sounds maybe a little weird, but it's really a lot of fun. It's like totally different than all the other festivals that are inside one room or like one big building. So keep that in mind. And then in October, November-ish, and I say that because this year it's October, last year it was in November. It's ICVM, and that stands for International Christian Visual Media. And it's the Storytellers Conference is what they have. And this is a high level professional event. So a lot of I went last year for the first time, and I was like, I will not miss another ICBM because the people that are here are on a different level than I am. They're on a level that I want to get to. And everyone was so kind, so friendly, and just willing to give, like generous with what they've learned and what they do. And really neat. They had beautiful dinners and lunches, like gorgeous. It's a little pricey, I'll say that, but it's worth every penny. And so you have the tables where you sit down and you get to have this 4 course, 3 course meal. Just really a great time. And it's all held in a hotel. So you can book your room at the hotel and you just go downstairs and you're at the conference, which was a new feeling for me because I'm used to either getting an Airbnb with people or for content, I volunteer and I stay close to the festival. But I've not actually been like, oh, I can look down and see everybody's there. But it is so neat. So definitely, I highly recommend ICBM. And then they also have something called the Lion's Den, which is where you can pitch not necessarily your movie, but some sort of program or kind of like a program that you're wanting funding for, and you pitch it to these folks who could give you money, and they are, I mean, they don't think your stuff is cute. Like they are serious investors, and so they're sweet, they're kind, but they aren't gonna. Yeah, you just have to experience it. It was really neat learning. I didn't pitch anything, but I learned a lot just by watching. So that's at ICBN. So that kind of wraps it up. So I would absolutely say go to some film festivals. Go to the one that's nearest you based on the list I just said. Try it out, see what you think. If you don't love it, keep in mind that not all film festivals are the same. I mean, there's one of the girls in the Powerhouse Sisterhood Suite. She said she went to a festival and it got a bad taste in her mouth, and so she's been reluctant to attend other ones, just kind of assuming they'd all be the same. They're not. So if you go to one and you don't love it, just try another at some point. It'll be worth it. And then one of the like best tips is try to Airbnb, get an Airbnb or a hotel with others who are going. One, it helps you build that connection, but two, it makes it a lot cheaper for you to stay there. And there's some Facebook groups too, like CWVFF, travel and lodging, or content travel, or just look for Facebook groups or reach out to me and I can point you in the right direction. But for sure, try to attend a film festival this year if you can, and let me know if you have any questions at all. And that is it for today.